Hello, if you don't know me, my name is Emily. Sorry for the horrible quality. I made a video earlier explaining this, but my other camera for some reason is not working, so I'm using my laptop. Yahoo! So I made a video earlier. This is going to be slightly different and more serious, but I thought maybe it would help somebody, so I decided I would talk about this and share my story. So the thing I'm going to be talking about is anxiety and panic attacks. And you might be suffering from this, you might not, but it could help you in other aspects of your life, you never know. So I don't know exactly when I started having panic attacks and anxiety. It roots from fear issues is the best thing I could say. And I only get panic attacks and anxiety at night. So the best way I could describe my anxiety and my panic attacks is I start to get really scared. When I was little, it was of people are going to come in my house and attack me, or bugs like spiders. I used to have really bad nightmares all the time when I was younger, so the thought of people coming in my house and attacking me happened frequently, which seems silly, but that's what happened to me. And when I would have panic attacks, I would be picturing somebody attacking me, and it would become so real in my mind that I would start crying, and I would have to turn my bedroom light on, and I would cry for a while because I was so frightened. And it seems so bizarre and stupid and silly, but I couldn't control it. So that's where the root of my anxiety and my panic attacks started. And then it got worse the older I got. And I would say this started when I was 9 or 10. And I had to sleep with a lamp on. Like, not just a nightlight, like a lamp. Every night I would have to sleep with that on in order to go to sleep, because I was scared of the dark. And it just got worse and worse. Sometimes it would get better, sometimes it would get worse. It all depended upon what was going on in my life at that time. So then, when I was 15, I moved to Arizona, and I discovered scorpions. And scorpions scare the living daylight out of me. I hate them so much. They freak me out. And people give me such a hard time about this. And it aggravates me so much because it is not something I can control. If I could control it, I would. I wouldn't be afraid of them anymore if I had any control over it. And obviously I don't, because I'm still way scared of them. And so when I moved here, it became apparent that I was very afraid of these things. And I don't know, as time went on, it just got really worse and worse. And it's gotten to the point now where I have to check my bed every night. I check around the sides in my sheets. I check the wall behind me. I check my pillows. And I have to make sure there's no scorpions, or I will not go to sleep. And yeah, it sounds stupid and silly. I realize that. But there's nothing I can do about it. And I have tried, you know what, I'm not going to check. I'm just going to try and go to sleep. And it does not work. And I can't just not check. because if I don't, I feel like I'm going to get stung. One's going to crawl on me. And I know it's silly, but I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to keep checking until I can do something and figure out a different way to live. That's my way of coping with it right now. But the anxiety and the panic attacks I would have that had to do with this, there was a time when, like, 3 or 4 times I found scorpions in my room on the wall while I was sleeping, and it freaked me out, and it was really bad. And so then I started checking my bed and everything. But then, like, I would check my bed and make sure there were no scorpions, and I knew in my mind that there were none in my room and, you know, none near me. But the fear inside me would grow, and I would start imagining scorpions crawling on me and stinging me, crawling up my back, just stinging me, and it would freak me out. And I would have to turn my light back on and recheck my bed. And on some nights, I could just check once, go to bed, it'd be fine. On other nights, I would literally check 5 times. And by the end of it, I would be so upset with myself in that I was having this fear, even though I knew there were no scorpions. I had already checked a million times. This fear within me was hindering me from going to sleep. And it would be 2 in the morning, and I would be sitting in my bed, rocking back and forth, curled up in a little ball like this, just bawling, like, I just want to go to sleep. I would be just crying and asking God why I was having to go through this. I didn't understand. I just wanted to sleep. I didn't want to have this horrid fear attacking me over and over and over. And I didn't understand. And it was horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, honestly. That was the worst ever, because it's such a stupid thing. I feel so dumb for having this stupid fear that doesn't make sense. But I would try and get over it, and it would get worse, and I would just find myself crying, and nothing was getting better, and it was just horrible. And it got to the point where I had to sleep with my bedroom light on every night, and that seems so silly to me. You know, I'm so afraid that I have to sleep with my bedroom light on, and I'm 20 years old. That seemed so ridiculous to me, and I felt so dumb. And like, I wanted to hide this away because, you know, what are people going to think of me? That I'm this afraid, that I'm this much of a baby. You know, it's silly and dumb and stupid, and I felt so alone. I felt so ridiculous. Any number of words you can come up with. And so I fought to try and get over this fear, and I had good times and then I had bad times where it would flare up again. But I would say I had it pretty well under control. And it was okay for a while. But then about 6 months ago, I went through something really, really horrible. And it's not, I guess I wouldn't say I went through something horrible. Somebody put me through something horrible. Somebody did something horrific to me. And I may or may not talk about that at another time. I'm not comfortable talking about it now to whoever may be watching this. But I was put through a horrific event that was literally the worst thing I've ever experienced ever in my life. I never would have imagined myself being in that situation, or somebody treating me the way I was treated. And it was horrible. And so after that happened, my panic attacks and my anxiety came back, and it was horrible again, and it was awful. It got to the point where I guess my ritual of sorts, I had to go check and make sure the doors were locked. I had to make sure my window was locked. I had to check my closet, make sure nobody was in there. I had to check under my bed, make sure nobody was in there, under there. And I had horrible nightmares where I would relive the thing that I went through. And it was horrible. And so, again, I would check for scorpions and all these things, but I got very little sleep. I slept with my bedroom light on every night because I was having these horrible nightmares that this, what I went through was happening again. And it was awful. I wouldn't wish that on anybody either, this situation. And it was awful. It was horrible. I didn't understand how somebody can go through what I went through and be okay and be normal around people and move on. I was so upset, and it was awful. I don't know how people cope with that kind of thing. But I eventually got better. I think time really helps, and I realized that I have a problem. I can't be sleeping with my bedroom light on for the rest of my life. I'm 20 years old. I need to find a way to get past what I'm going through and fight, because I can't do this for the rest of my life. It's ridiculous. And so it was actually just like a week ago I decided, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with the panic attacks and the anxiety. I'm done checking and rechecking my bed every night and sleeping with my light on. I'm done. I don't want to be this person. And so I find that if I put it from my mind and I don't think about it at night, that's the best way it helps me. I'm somebody who tends to live in her past and think about these things that have happened to me. I'm not sure why. I think we all do it, and there's not really any reason for it. It's rather stupid, actually. But I find that if I don't relive the moments and don't think about the past as much at night and just try and go to sleep instead, it helps a lot. And I think that's a lot easier said than done, but if you want to get past it enough, you can do it, I think. So I told myself, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to live a normal life, and I'm going to stop living in fear, and I'm just going to get through this. And so I checked my bed. I still check my bed for scorpions. Maybe someday I'll be able to not do that, but I still have to. And I turned my light off, and I said, I'm not going to turn it back on. I'm going to go to sleep. I don't care how long it takes me to go to sleep. I don't care how much I cry. I'm going to sleep with my light off. And the first night it was really hard. I had 3 panic attacks. I was bawling my eyes out by the end of it and ended up crying myself to sleep. But I did not get stung by a scorpion. There were no scorpions that got me, which was important. And I ended up sleeping. And I woke up in the morning and my light was still off. So I did it. Yes, it was really hard, but I realized that my fear is very irrational. And I also realized that I can do it. I don't have to sleep with my bedroom light on for the rest of my life. So I did it the next night as well, and I had a little bit of anxiety, but I just pushed it back, and I just was like, nope, I'm just going to go to sleep. And it worked. I had no panic attacks, slept with the light off the entire night, very mild anxiety. And it's been a long time since I would have been able to say that that has happened for me. That was a really confusing sentence. Anyway, so then the next night, I was feeling really great, and I was like, you know, I'm doing really good. And I was tired enough that I didn't have any anxiety. I didn't have any panic attacks. I didn't cry. Slept with the light off the entire night. It was great. And it has been a long time since I have had zero anxiety and just been able to fall asleep. That is crazy for me. And that's the first time I was like, wow, I could actually be normal. I really, you know, not only could I have mild anxiety, I could have no anxiety at night and just go to sleep and it'd be fine. And it was wonderful. Then the next night I found myself thinking about my past and about the anxiety I used to have and the fear issues I used to have, and it brought on a panic attack and I couldn't sleep with my light off, and I felt so like I had, you know, lost all the progress that I had made. But I then realized that the reason I've been having these panic attacks and this anxiety is because I have been living in my past too much. And if I just don't think about that stuff at night, I can go to sleep fine. And, you know, that's the root of the problem, is what my mind is thinking about when I'm trying to go to sleep. So if you are like me and you have been having panic attacks and anxiety, my advice to you would be, don't think about this stuff at night when you're trying to go to sleep or whenever you have the panic attacks. Try your best not to think about it. And yes, that's so much easier said than done, I realize. But if you want it badly enough, I am a prime example that you can do it and you can get past it. And that would be my best advice, is to want it bad enough that you can just put it from your mind and take calm breaths. And, you know, yes, I reverted back to my old ways. I slept with my bedroom light off 3 nights ago, and I'm a 20-year-old. You know, I think that's something you need to realize too, is that sometimes it's going to happen. A panic attack is going to happen. You're going to have anxiety at some point, and you might revert back to your old ways. But the thing to keep in mind is that that's not the end. That's not the deciding factor. You know, you're not just going to quit cold turkey. You're going to revert back sometimes. The important thing to remember is that you're getting better. And, you know, you're going to overcome it at some point. You're not going to be perfect at first. That's not the point of doing it, is to just get rid of it. At the very, you know, oh, I'm just not going to have it anymore. It's not going to happen if you have that mindset, unfortunately. Sorry, that all didn't make much sense. So, I'm really bad at this talking thing. Hopefully you kind of understand what I meant. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to take time, and you're going to have to want it really bad. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen. You're going to keep living the life that you're living, and you're going to hate it. So if you want change, you have to want it bad enough. You have to work for it, and it's going to be uncomfortable. That first night, that was a horrible night for me, but I did it. I slept with my bedroom light off. So it's possible. It really is, if you just believe that you can do it. And I know that sounds so cliche and like, oh, whatever, me. But it worked for me, So it can work for you. I believe. I believe in you guys. And now it's just getting weird. Alright. Well, that would be my best advice to you guys if you're dealing with the same thing. And if you are dealing with this and you want to know more, message me on YouTube or leave a comment below, or make a video of you talking about what you're going through, and I will try and get back to you guys if I can. And I would love to help you if I can in any way possible, because this is a horrific thing to have to go through, and I completely understand, and it's horrible, and if I can help anybody, I will gladly help you get through what you're going through. And so don't feel afraid to reach out to me. I will, I will help you as much as I can. And nobody should have to go through this by themselves. And yeah, so that's my story, and I hope this has helped somebody. I don't know, I feel quite odd. I'm just talking to a laptop right now. It's very, very weird. And if there's anybody in my house, they're like, what the heck is she doing? Which is fine. But yeah, I thought maybe this would help somebody, so that's why I made this video. Sorry it's so long. But I hope that it helps somebody. I've already said that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching. I've been working on music covers, but I don't like any of them. So who knows if I'll have another video out soon. I have no idea if I will or not. So sorry I haven't posted anything in a while, but I'm really picky about the songs I sing. I don't put anything out that's not my very best. So yeah. Alright. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I love you. And again, if you need somebody to talk to, I am here for you. And yeah. Okay. Bye.